bit. We didn't play our best football in that game, man. So I obviously had the opportunity to come back and try to give myself a chance to get back to that game and have a better outcome. I was all in on it.
And could you tell it was a priority for the Chiefs as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've had extra meetings and had conversations with Coach Reed and Spags and my position coach BD as well. And they wanted to get me back. I think it was a mutual interest on both parties, man. I'm just super happy. Give a shout out to Hunt, Coach Reed, Coach Spags, and just give me another opportunity to come out there, be with my teammates, have some familiarity. I've been in Missouri for going on 8 years now, so it definitely feels like home, and I was happy to be here.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Kelsey, I have a follow-up too. Hey, Nick, I first wondered, you had the opportunity to test free agency and you signed with the Chiefs before you even got there. Why was that the right decision for you?
Yeah, man, just talking with my family and my agent, just made the most sense. Again, I kind of mentioned a little bit of the points earlier, just having familiarity, having a scheme, having players around me that I'm comfortable with, and just have people that believe in you. I think that's kind of one of the big things for me. They gave me a chance to come out of college, and then after that, kind of let me go into myself and be the leader that I wanted to be. So I just kind of felt like that was just the best decision for me and my family. Obviously, we had a great football team, a great chance to win. All the things played a part. That's the reason why I'm here.
Yeah, and can you tell me the first thing that either Coach Spagnuolo texted you or told you right after you signed and it was official?
Yeah, man, he just said, this is a great day to start the weekend off. He was out there in Miami, I believe, and enjoying some downtime. I think Coach Reed got the coaches away for a little bit. So he just gave me a call, man, and just said, I was happy to start this weekend off the right way. We had a couple conversations after the season ended, stuff like that. So we didn't know how this thing was going to go, man, but there's a lot of gratitude, humility on both parties from where we started at and where we got to. So, yeah, man, I'm super happy. Spaz gave me one of those calls, man. Kind of like a dad call, man. Just like, hey, man, happy to start the weekend off, man. I hope you've been doing good and happy to get you back in the building. So I was super excited, man. And I had a couple calls with him since.
We'll go next to Blair Kirkhoff. Lurk?
Nick, this is one of the first times we've gotten to talk to players since the Super Bowl, and just based on your first comments, that really stayed with you. How much of a factor did it play in you wanting to come back with the Chiefs?
Yeah, man. I think I don't think anybody wanted to end the season out the way that it ended. But yeah, man, I think we have opportunity. Think about football is played annually. So yeah, another opportunity to come out there and put your best foot forward for 17 games and give yourself a chance to make the playoffs and kind of do it all over again. So yeah, I think this is a big thing for me. I think I didn't want to leave Kansas City out on a sour note, most definitely. So have an opportunity to come back and get back to work, get an opportunity to go out there and do the same thing next year. I think that's pretty hard, big on my heart.
Thanks, Blair. We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Nate?
Nick, you congratulations. Obviously, you entered the team in the league in a interesting era with guys like Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, Noah Gray, following the Chiefs' Super Bowl loss. Just as a collection, as a group, how significant is it for you that the four of you guys are continuing your career together with Kansas City, and how much of that played a minor role in your decision, given who you entered the league with and the success you guys have had in the past 4 years?
Yeah, man, that's super big. We talk about it all the time, man. We came in, we gave people a hard time because the rookies below us, when they came in the year after us, the class below us, they think they have the best draft class, man. But we kind of just joke around and stuff like that. But yeah, I think having a group of guys, man, that came in as pups, man, and kind of established themselves as leaders and great players as well. So keeping that nucleus of players together, along with the players already having the building, the coaches, obviously, I think that's kind of big. I think for players and coaches, both sides. We got a lot of familiarity in the building. A lot of people that know the standard, know what things we do on a day-to-day basis to get to where we've been getting to the last couple of years. And so having those guys there on the forefront to lead as we head into this OTAs and training camp and get back to the other part of the season, I think that's a big role for us.
We'll hear from Sam McDowell next. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Kelsey, thanks. I'll have a couple things. Hey, Nick, just wondered, could you give us a sense of, were there conversations going on throughout the season, and was this at all in your mind throughout the season? Did you block it out? How did you just approach it during the year?
Yeah, man, I kind of just blocked it out. It wasn't really any conversations throughout the season. It was just a small talk, I think, in training camp last year. But ultimately, my mindset was on trying to figure out how to help our team get to 3 Super Bowls in a row. The first team to do that, and then give ourselves an opportunity to win the thing. So that was where my focus went throughout the season. I owed that to the guys in the locker room, the guys that are in the building. Guys never won one before. Guys never been to where we've been before. So I think I put that in the forefront of my mind. Just give myself the best opportunity to attack free agency by doing the small things on a day-to-day basis to get us to our goals.
And as a local college guy, I just wanted to ask what's your plans or your viewing plans for the Mizzou game tonight?
Yeah, man. I'll be here at the house in Arizona, but yeah, I'm definitely tuned in. I want Mizzou to do good, man. They've been playing good basketball. ACC tournament didn't go the way we wanted it to, but yeah, man, I'm all in, man. I'm gonna be bright eye, bushy tail. We're 2 hours behind, but I'm gonna be tuned in.
We'll go next to Matt Derrick. Matt?
Hey Nick, congratulations. And you said you had a conversation in training camp and assuming that was with the Chiefs. But going into the season, what was your kind of strategy and with your agent strategy? I mean, did you intend for wanting to, talk about the contract after the season, especially coming off the injury in 23 and wanting to have a full year behind you?
Yeah, most definitely. I kind of just felt like I probably put myself in the best position if I just took it game by game, week by week, day by day, and not just worried about too far fetched down in the future. Yeah, I think the conversations in those training camp were kind of, what I'm saying, like, oh well, he was hurt last year. Kind of just want to make sure he can stay healthy. I was dinged up a little bit, so I mean, I understood it from both sides of the argument. I just wanted to go out there and put my best foot forward, give myself 17 games, be healthy, and play good football. I guess that's really my strategy. Just try to play good as I can and stay healthy, give a chance to win, and obviously get back to the big game and just play good in that game.
It looks like we have one more question for you. We'll go to Jesse Newell. Jesse?
Hey, Nick, you had just mentioned that Spags had called you a couple times since you had signed. Is this already about football? What are those conversations about that he's calling you back already?
Yeah, no, we don't talk about football, man. Spy's been real invested in my family, my siblings for sure. As Spy's my first day, he met my dad. He asked my dad, got some years left to play. So he's kind of one of those things, man. Just a family person, man. It's all family. Me and Spags, when we come into work, man, we got the opportunity to make sure that we all focused in on ball. And then once ball's over with, man, it's more family, more outside of ball. Things that make you a great human, things that make you succeed later on in life once it's all wrapped up and done and said and done. So, yeah, we have conversations, man, all about life, all about family, asking how I'm doing, girlfriend, siblings, family, mom, sister, healthy. So he's make sure he checks in every single week, make sure my mental is good, my family is good, and I can do the same.
Thanks, Nick. We appreciate the time and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah.
What were the conversations like in the off season? I mean, as far as weighing whether or not you wanted to test free agency and the options there and wanting to come back to Kansas City?
I knew all along, I wanted to be back. They voiced their opinions of wanting me back, and We had some unfinished business. I know had a great, start to my camp and getting hurt. It was just, we all wanted to see it, come together. So glad we got it done.
You mentioned just getting hurt. I mean, you came back late in the season, but I imagine it's kind of hard to play, at full speed or where you felt like you could have been when you're playing in week 15 and other guys have been playing for 15 weeks. What was the difficulty in that, and how close do you feel like you were to where you had gotten in training camp, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was tough, but I try not to think about it because I was just so happy to, be there and in whatever way I can help. But of course, it was tough getting cleared and then going from, not doing nothing to practicing and then the next week playing. It was tough, but I mean, you got guys around that, rally, everyone, I'm a pro, study, got myself ready to go to, help the team. But just being excited to now be back in off season and really train my body, prepare my body to, even being better than what I was.
Thanks.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell. Jesse?
Thanks, Kelsey. I have a follow-up too. Hey, Hollywood, you said there were some conversations even before you re-signed about coming back. Can you just share kind of who was talking to you, and whether it was teammates or coaches, and kind of what was going on there?
I mean, everyone. I mean, I love those guys there, and everyone just, always, we're gonna be back next year. Like, we're gonna do it right next year. And even before I got cleared to even come back, I could feel, people wanted me around, and so that was good for me while I was rehabbing. Kept me always in good spirits, and so we knew we could make it happen for real.
Yeah, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think NFL Films caught Mahomes even saying something to you at the Super Bowl about that. What did he say to you at the Super Bowl? And I guess, was he a big reason that you potentially wanted to come back?
I don't even remember Super Bowl like a blur to me, but yeah, that's my guy. I mean, we talk about me being here, so definitely we had to make it happen, and I'm glad we did.
We'll go next to Adam Teicher. Adam?
Hey, Hollywood, you got hurt so early in the season and came back so late. Do you feel like you ever really had a chance to show the Chiefs what kind of player you really are? And Kelsey, I'll have a second question as well.
No, I didn't really. I mean, except the people in the building, my teammates, my coaches, and it carried me a long way. They know the type of guy I am, the type of work I put in, and essentially, that's one of the reasons I got brought back because I mean, a few games I played, I was there, and I was able to open things up for the offense a lot, but wasn't really involved that much. And I just know the impression that I left is something that I want to show the whole Chiefs kingdom and really show what I can do.
Okay, and you said earlier you knew all along you wanted to come back. What led to that decision? Why did you want to come back?
I think just the environment, the atmosphere, every day coming to work, um, just felt like for the first time in my career, like I was getting where I wanted to be. Every day coming to work, getting better and getting better. So knew that was a place and environment. I wanted to stay in.
We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Congratulations, Hollywood, on coming back. It seems pretty clear to me that you, Rasheed, and Xavier all felt that you guys could be a pretty dynamic trio in the NFL. But of course, last year, you weren't exactly sure how Xavier was going to do. And of course, Rasheed had his own injury. But now being in the offense, seeing the offense for a few years, seeing the potential of Xavier in his rookie season, just what do you think, if you guys all are to stay healthy, how this upcoming season could be for all three of you all, given that I'm sure was a factor in returning to Kansas City as well?
Definitely. I mean, those are my guys. The sky's the limit. We talk all the times about history and the team we're on, the team history, our history as a group, our history as individual players, and that stuff we speak on. And that stuff, we're striving for through the off season, through our training. We're trying to push each other to be the best because ultimately, I do feel like we could do something that's never been done before.
Looks like we have one last question for you, and that'll come from Matt Derrick.
Hey, Hollywood, you mentioned about getting your body right for this season. Do you have any different plans or approach for this year, or what's kind of your strategy? What will you be doing the next few weeks? You be getting together with Patrick? Anything else, before OTAs begin?
I think I kind of put together a good plan last year. That's what I got into camp feeling great. And just continue on to that, staying, locked in everyday type of thing, not looking at it as really like a plan, but a lifestyle. Um, my lifestyle that consists of, my nutrition, my training, my conditioning, and then, my football stuff. And yeah, I mean, I get with Patrick, we train, but ultimately, man, just, being an all around pro at all times, off season, in season, just sticking to the schedule.
We'll do one last one, and that'll be Jesse Newell.
Yeah, I want to get the important ones out of the way first. Hollywood, it's a different haircut. I just wanted to know if there's anything behind it.
Oh no, I mean I wanted for a while to cut my hair, and it was crazy because I wasn't on social media to know that Patrick cut his hair, and then Xavier cut his hair. So now I'm trying to get Rashid to cut his hair, but I don't think we're gonna have a easy time with that one.
Thanks so much for the time, Hollywood. Congratulations again, and I'll go ahead and kick you out. local media. I'll call on each of these outlets and we'll ask you a few questions and get you in and out. Sound good?
Sounds amazing.
Perfect. We'll start with Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Jaylon, a couple things for you. First of all, just what were your conversations like with, like, as far as how many teams were interested in you and what drew you to Kansas City?
I mean, it happened pretty fast, so I'm not really sure all the teams that were involved, but I mean, right after we got the deal done, I was stoked, and I mean, it was great conversations between, I mean, me and the coaching staff, so it was all great.
What have the subsequent conversations been like with Patrick Mahomes and Andy and just some teammates that you chatted with already?
I mean, it was a lot of support, just making sure that I got everything down that I need so far, and just being there for me, being available, making sure that I know that they're available for me if I need them. Yeah, I mean, awesome being able to sit down and talk with Coach Reed. So everything was great. Everything's great.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Jaylon, welcome to Kansas City. I just I'll have a couple. Kelsey, first off, just what kind of opportunity did you see with the Chiefs in signing with them?
I mean, obviously, probably having a chance to play some football. But outside of that, I mean, it's a great organization. I know it's a great team. Everything that I've heard from the outside, having new teammates that came from the organization, I know it's top tier. So I'm excited.
And I was going to ask you about Mike Caliendo. Can you just take us back?
Oh yeah, Mike, that's my guy, man. We went in Western Michigan together, same class. Spent a lot of our time together. So Mike Caliendo, that's my brother, man.
We'll go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Jaylon, welcome to Kansas City. I was just wondering whether going into free agency, you were thinking the Chiefs might call. And Kelsey, I'll have a second question as well.
Honestly, I didn't know who might call. I mean, obviously, those few months after the season were long. You kind of don't know where everything is, but kind of wait on that period to open up. And I don't know, things happen so fast for me. I wouldn't say that I expected them to call. It was just all up in the air up until that point. So,
okay, and what tells you you're ready to be a full-time starter if that's how this turns out?
I mean, in my opinion, the tape doesn't lie. I know it's a small sample size, but I mean, I just go out there and play ball the way I know how, and I don't know. They see something in me, so I'm, excited to go balls to the wall for these guys. So
We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hello, Jaylon. Congratulations. I have two questions as well. You said it's a limited sample size, but how much of these past 4 years working under Trent Williams do you think allows you to be ready for this opportunity to be a starter? And I'll have a second question.
I mean, it was everything I could have imagined. I mean, you kind of sit in the film room every day, and to me, I kind of set a standard for myself, and with that being a standard every day, in and out, it's kind of hard for, I don't know, the floor to be very low, I would say. Not saying that it's hard for anybody else to be able to do that, but just being put in that position and being able to study behind him and kind of critique my game based on what I see every single day, it made all the difference in the world.
And secondly, Jaylon, just what does it mean for you that another team is giving you this opportunity to be a starter, and just what do you want to show for yourself or prove to yourself with this upcoming season in Kansas City?
I would say to myself personally, it's all about getting better every single day, trying to be the best version of myself for my teammates. So that's kind of my goal. Just keep pushing to better myself and help better anybody who may need a push or, have any questions about certain things. Not saying I'll try to step into a leadership role or anything like that, but of course, trying to be that leader for anybody who needs it.
We'll hear from Matt Derrick next. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Jaylon, congratulations and welcome to KC. Um, what's the challenge for you as far as coming to a new system and a new team and kind of adapting to the way that maybe the Chiefs call things, their blocking schemes, kind of concepts? What's the challenge for you as far as the transition and picking all of that up?
I mean, of course, understanding there's going to be an adjustment. But I mean, my goal is to, try to get better every single day at that stuff and hone into the small details. And I feel like as long as I can do that, I can be in a position to help us win games. So.
And to you, what's the kind of relationship between a left tackle and a quarterback? How much do you need to be on the same page, and how much do you need to kind of learn what Patrick likes and doesn't like as far as setting a pocket?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming in from day one, watching the film, having an open communication on things he might want and things he may like, and me being able to adjust and being able to, I don't know, have him have that trust in me that I'll be there to protect him at all times.
It looks like we have one last question, and that's going to be from Nick Jacobs with KSHB. Go ahead, Nick.
And Kelsey, I'll have a follow-up if I can, please. Jaylon, congrats, man. My first question for you is, what do you pride yourself on as being an offensive tackle? What do you want people to take away when they watch you on tape?
I say I'm pretty big on technique and finishing. Just trying to be the nasty guy while always still honing in on my technique and always being technically sound. Yeah, I would say technique.
Okay. And then finally, who's kind of been influential in you from a coaching perspective over time that's helped make you the offensive lineman you are?
Yeah. I mean, coming from San Francisco for 4 years, I had Chris Furster. I mean, he was a great coach. So, I mean, it's still going to be an adjustment coming over here. And, yeah, I mean, just trying to figure it out still.
Thanks, Jaylon. We appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll go. And then if you could turn that phone just the other way so we can get you. There you go. Perfect.
There we go.
Awesome. I'll call on some of our local media members here and they'll fire off a few questions and we'll get you in and out.
All
Sound
right,
good?
perfect. Sound good.
Awesome. We will start with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Elijah, welcome to Kansas City. I just curious, how healthy are you? Will you be able to practice 100% when OTA start? And if not, when do you feel like you'll be ready to go 100%?
Nah,
And
man, I'm
Kelsey,
back.
I'll have a second question as well.
No, I'm back at 100%, and I'll be ready to go when we start back up in May. Definitely.
Okay. Okay, and with Isaiah Pacheco here and Kareem Hunt here, how do you see your role as the season goes on?
Oh, definitely. Man, I'll just call it adding to the room, man. Really. Whatever it takes, whatever role I get, that's what it's gonna be for me.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Elijah. I just wondered, had the Chiefs ever had interest in you before this, during the draft process? Had you heard from them, or did you have any history with them?
No, not at all.
Okay. I just wondered, how did you know this time around that they were interested in you? And I guess what did they share with you as they were trying to sign you?
Just my agent talked to him for free agency and was able to get a deal done, and I'll be ready to roll, man. So that was it.
We'll go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Elijah, congratulations and welcome to KC.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, a couple questions for you, but yeah, what was it about Kansas City? What made this the right place for you?
Man, just their offense, man. Really both sides of the ball, man. It's just a organization, just hearing about it. But man, they know how to win, man. And that was my biggest thing. Even coming from San Francisco and being able to come to another winning team is just amazing, man. And the things they do in offense, it's everything I did when I was in San Fran. So man, I'm excited for it.
How challenging was last season, sitting out and not being able to play?
Man, it was very challenging, man. Like, man, just having the love for football and not being able to step on the field and compete against the best, man, it really weighed on me a lot. But man, I'm hungrier than ever and I'm ready to roll, man.
We'll go next to Nick Jacobs. Go ahead, Nick.
And Kelsey, I'll have a follow-up if I can. Elijah, for you, what is your favorite thing about being a running back? What do you kind of pride yourself on?
Man, just when things get tough and you get to the point where your head coach want to just run the ball, man, that gets me fired up, bro. Like, you just put everything on your back and just make things happen, man. Be a playmaker. That's it.
And having gone through the injury last year, what did you kind of learn about yourself as a competitor? Because you may not be on the field, or you're having to compete in rehab to get yourself back to 100%.
Yeah, man, definitely. Anytime you get hurt, man, and especially being out a year, you have to, man, go to a different level of just working back and just, keep reminding yourself that you're still that guy, even though, you have you end up getting an injury or whatever, but you gotta just remind yourself, keep pushing, and man, you're gonna come off on the top of it sooner or later, man.
Awesome. We'll go next to Nate Taylor, and it looks like you might have your finger over the camera a little bit there. Perfect.
Oh.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Elijah. Nice to meet you. Hey, man, we've all done it. Don't worry about it. We've all done it. I have two questions as well. Andy Reid has a long history of, having running backs be successful in the passing game. Of course, there's Patrick involved as well. Just what excites you most about being a receiver in this offense as well out of the backfield? And Kelsey, I have a second question as well.
Man, I feel like I said, even when I was at San Fran, man, like I did all the passing game stuff in practice and stuff, but now just being able to actually do it with KC, man, is going to open up a lot of things, not just for me, but for the team, man. And it's going to be incredible, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. And lastly, we just got off the call with Jaylon, obviously a teammate coming over with you from San Francisco as well. Just what are your impressions of him as a teammate? What's it been like to see him grow throughout his career and the time you've been with him, and knowing he's going to get an opportunity to start at left tackle?
Man, actually, man, that's my boy, bro. Like, we came in together since day one. We clicked, but man, Jaylon, he brings a lot. Even though, he was in front of one of the best tackles in the league, man. But Jaylon is definitely a sleeper, and Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna love what Jalen brings to it, man. He can protect. He's a good guy, man, and an awesome football player. So he's gonna be good, man. I'm excited for him.
Awesome. It looks like that's all we have for you today, Elijah, but we appreciate the time and welcome to Kansas City.
And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go. local media members, and we'll ask you a few questions and get you in and out. Sound good?
Okay. Yes.
We'll go first to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Kristian, congratulations.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you.
Hey, you're obviously familiar with this team a little bit. A couple of questions for you, but what is it that stands out to you about this defense, and why Kansas City? What was that the right choice for you?
I think what stands out to me, obviously, within the past few years, well, obviously being a defensive guy, I know, defense wins championships, even though it's a great offense as well. But like I said, you don't get to this level of in the NFL without having a great defense. And the past few years has been put on display. And obviously, being a corner, I like to watch other corners in this league. And the past few years they've had some of the top guys in the league, with their play and in their scheme. So I feel like it was a great fit, for me to be put in this position, put myself in this position.
Have you had a chance to talk to Steve Spagnuolo and Dave Merritt about how you kind of fit into all of this and what they're thinking about and how they're thinking about using you?
Yeah. I've talked to both of them. Great coaches, great guys, and they told me how much they love my game, and they love how they think I can be a key piece on the defense, to fit right in the scheme. And they watched me when I came out of college. That was something that stood out to them. So they think they feel that they can take my game to another level.
We'll go next to Nick Jacobs. Go ahead, Nick.
Kelsey, I have a couple follow-ups. Kristian, for you, when you watch it on tape, how physical you are in the run game, where did that come from? Because some corners aren't necessarily that physical sometimes in the run game.
Yeah, that's just always been my game since I started playing football. I mean, as a corner, we know in the NFL they're gonna set guys up to make sure the corners are going to tackle. So it has to be a mentality. You have to have a dog mentality in the run game because there's going to come a point in time when you got to make a key tackle in the game. And like I said, my dad, he coached me from the start when I started playing football, and like I said, it's just been a key thing, for me. I mean, obviously. I remember one of my coaches, they gave me a nickname called the Cobra, because I just strike people whenever I tackle. So that kind of just stuck with me, and I realized how that stands out, the coaches. So like I said, it's just a mentality, to want to tackle.
And then from your time to the Titans and then with the Chargers, you did more zone, obviously, last year with the Chargers. How did that, in those two schemes in the NFL, how did that help improve your game and make you a well-rounded corner?
Yeah, I mean, it's made my game. It made me add more to my game because coming out at college, we played 90+% man. We were pressed 90% of the time, and then once I got to the NFL, they asked me to play more off, more zone. Just to read different keys. While in coverage, which is also obviously a great switch up. For offenses, but. That's where I said I had to go my game, playing more off man, off zone. And like I said, just being able to, kind of read and react, which I feel like I was already good at, but, it just made me, kind of grow more, like just elevate my game in a sense.
We'll go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Kristian, welcome to Kansas City. You've played against Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Hollywood, Juju before. Like, what stands out to you about this receiving group? What makes this group maybe difficult for opponents to cover?
Yeah, I mean, it's a real, diverse group. They all have different skill sets, and they all have, something that stands out in their game. And they've made plays in this league. I mean, obviously, Xavier, he was a rookie last year, and we've seen what he can do in this league. He can take the top off of defense. He can also, run away from you on shorter routes. Run across the field. Rashee Rice, he's a pretty much do it all receiver. Can take you deep, or he can also, run different short routes in the tree. They all have different skill sets. I believe so. And I think you need that, in a receiver room. You can't just have, I don't want to say, I guess it's like a one-trick pony receiver room where, one guy is doing a certain thing or they're all doing, a certain thing. And obviously, Coach Reed, he does a great job of scheming defenses up, and getting those guys the ball, So I think that's what stands out. Juju as well, and Hollywood as well. They've all have a long career in this league. Of doing getting the ball different ways and making plays.
We'll go next to Herbie Teope. Herbie?
Hey, Kristian, welcome to Kansas City.
Thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, you actually had a formal interview with the Chiefs a few years ago at the NFL Scouting Combine. You were one of their 30. How did that go, and what kind of impression did they leave with you after that process? And Kelsey, I'll have another question.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a lot that weekend. It was a lot going on at the combine, so I can't really specifically say, how. I mean, obviously it was a great meeting because they liked me. They were winning at the time as well. So I think I mean, I like them as well as a staff. They always had a great staff, but yeah, I mean, it was just a lot going on at that time. As far as I mean, I'm saying I went through a lot of meetings. Is what I'm trying to say here. So I can't really remember specifically.
Well, even if you can't remember specifically, now that it's sort of come full circle, they've expressed interest with you back then, but now it's come full circle. You're here. I mean, how do you capture that feeling?
It's great. Like I said, the organization, the success speaks for itself, and me being the player and my history in football, I come from, successful organizations, which is high school to college. And I mean, I think, like you said, it always come back full circle, and it was meant to be. It didn't happen then, but now it's meant to be, to for us to work together and, to build on, the success that we've already had. And I'm looking forward to building on that off the field, on the field, and doing my best to get us back on top of the football world.
Thanks, Kristian. We appreciate the time.
Yes, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, congrats.
Okay, I thought you told me to turn it like this.
Yeah, if you can turn it sideways, that would be great. It might just be locked,
Oh,
the
is it locked?
orientation.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay. Hang on. It shows it's not locked. Let me try.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go. Perfect.
did that work?
Yep.
Okay. I was like, Sydney told me wrong. Okay.
Never, never. All
Okay.
right. Well, I know you're familiar with this system, so we'll kick it off with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Okay.
Hey, James, how you doing?
Adam, what's going on?
Good. Hey, I got to ask, where are you?
I'm in Ardmore, Oklahoma.
Okay. All
So
right.
I have yet to go see my grandparents. So we're headed down. The kids are on spring break, so we're going down to visit the grandparents.
Okay, we'll have fun. Well, hey,
Thank you.
if I had told you when you were leaving Oklahoma and starting your NFL career that this is how things would turn out through the first several years, you'd be playing for the Chiefs still after all these years. You'd have 3 rings and maybe looking for more here. What would you have said to me if I told you this is how your career was going to turn out?
Um, I would say no way. There's no way that would be the way that whole thing panned out. I mean, I think when you first start your career, you're just hoping for an opportunity. You just want to play in a game, want to play a season, so you really have, it's such a hard thing to stay in this league for a long time, and obviously as a specialist, you have the opportunity. Longevity is in your favor, right, with our position. But there's just so many things that you can't control, so many factors, whether it be, different GM, different coach. Obviously your performance is a huge part of that deal and staying in one place for a long time. But there's so many things you can't control, and so you really just take it game by game, take it year by year. And so, I mean, I would have called you crazy if you would have said, would be going into year 11, have had the opportunity to play in 5 Super Bowls and be a part of 3 championships. And that's not including all the AFC West championships and things that we've got to be a part of. And so, international games, I mean, it's been a dream come true. So, yeah, I would have said you were crazy, but, being a small town kid from Oklahoma and just wanting an opportunity to go play at Oklahoma and walking on that route and then finding my way to the NFL 3 years later, it has been incredibly special. And it's still getting to live that dream. So it just keeps getting better, it seems.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Kelsey, I'll have a follow-up too. Hey, James, can you just take us through the conversations, what they were like with the team after the season?
Yeah, well, really spoke with my agent, and obviously, our goal was to come back to Kansas City. Kansas City's home. It's where I want to be. So really, there wasn't a big desire to entertain options with other teams. And had great conversations with the team. Everyone, expressed that they wanted me back, and but that's a process. So when the season ends, there's more, there's higher priority than the long snapper on the team, and I know that. So I've become pretty accustomed to that. So when the season ends, it's kind of like, I knew where they stood, and I knew they wanted me back, but we go about our off-season plans, and I knew that the closer it got to that league year, that I would start hearing from them, and sure enough, a couple weeks out, really the combine, we started talking to them, and having my agent had communication with the team, and we're able to come up with a deal there. But it was above what we had anticipated, and we were excited to have the opportunity to sign another go and another year. And at my age, that's what you hope for, right? Is a 1-year deal, and that's what we got accomplished.
Yeah, and take this as a compliment. I feel like you're on the Travis Kelce track here, but I want to ask you, how much longer do you think you want to do this?
I mean, my answer has never changed. You just take it 1 year at a time. And, I think being where your feet are is kind of the way to go about that, take it year by year. I would say, coin the term that someone used long ago was, like icing on the cake. I've had the opportunity to be with the team for, a very long time, and none of that's taken for granted. But we still have a job to do. You still train like you want to be the best that you can at your job every year, and that's just a year by year deal. I think early in your career, you're more concerned with getting that big deal and signing for multiple years. For me, I'm thrilled to just be back on the team 1 year at a time, and so I think every season we evaluate as a family where we're at, what we're doing, and This year we did the same, and you see the team that you're on, the people that I get to go to work with every day, the future Hall of Famers, and then so many great guys on the team and in this organization, and you just go there's nowhere else that I would rather be, and there's so many who would love to play for an organization like Kansas City, and so to be able to do that for another year, it was a no-brainer that yes, we want to go another season.
We'll go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, James, congratulations as always.
Matt, what's up? Thank you.
Hey, a couple of questions for you. I mean, one, you mentioned the coaching aspect of it. How important to you, being in the league and having this run with the Chiefs has been connected to having Andy Reid and Dave Toub there with you the entire way?
Yeah, extremely special, and I think, the turnover in the NFL is quite high, right? So the longer you play, you realize, players, coaches, staff, there's just a big turnover. And, I feel like in Kansas City, I've been fortunate to be with those guys, from the top down. Our head coach hasn't changed. And then, you run through one of the best coordinators to ever do it, and Dave Toub, and getting to play for that guy. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So we really kept a lot of our core coaches, and they've been around the entire time I've been in Kansas City. So extremely special. I mean, Coach Reid is, out of this world when it comes to leadership and just being able to be in a team room with that man and be around him and get to know him, not only as a coach, but as a person, has been extremely special. And, you guys get to have pressers with him all the time. His personality is like no other, and there's really just no one quite like him. So extremely special to get to be around him. And same thing as Dave Toub. I mean, like I said, one of the best coordinators, special teams coordinators to ever do it in NFL history. And so to be able to call that guy my coach and spend as much time with him is very grateful for that, honestly. And same thing with our core special teamers, having played 8 seasons with Harrison Bucker, that's awesome. I mean, such a great guy and a pro at what he does, and fortunate to get to be around him as long as I have.
I mean,
Sorry about that, Matt. Go ahead.
We talk about the leaders on this team. I mean, you're one of the franchise leaders in games played on playoff games. You're now the highest paid long snapper in the league. I mean, how does it feel to be kind of the dean of long snappers in the NFL?
Well, it's really cool. And, personally, it's just that it's amazing to have that title and whatnot. But, I was just as excited for guys across the league. I mean, it's the next guy kind of gets the highest deal. And so to continue that market in the right direction for those guys in the future, that was another thing that was important to me. And so, and to get to do it in Kansas City, that's special. But yeah, it's, you throw all of that out there, and you kind of forget that, being one of the oldest guy on the team now, and right there with Travis. I mean, that's so special to have been in one place for that long. I mean, that's such a cool thing. So for obvious reasons, we don't want to go anywhere else. I love what I do. I love continuing to perfect my craft and work with those guys every day. Matt and Harrison and Coach Toub and the team that we're on. It's just so special. And I mean, that's definitely when you sit back and you get to the off season, you reflect a little bit, right? Like in season, you have your nose to the grind, and it's just day after day, week after week, and it gets very repetitive. But it's a 1-game season all season long, and when you get to the end of the season, you get to kind of like take a step back and just reflect on what we've been able to accomplish and be a part of. And obviously this year falling short in the Super Bowl, that one stings, but it definitely gives you some motivation for next year. It's not the first time we've been here. And, for all the guys who haven't won one, that's where your mind goes like, hey, what can we do? How can we get better? And, continue to chase that thing one more time. But it's baby steps, right? I mean, it's OTAs and then training camp, and we're a long ways away, but it certainly gives you a little fuel in the off season. So extremely special to be one of the oldest dudes on the team, oldest guy on the team, and second longest to Travis. And I mean, those guys are all future Hall of Famers. To get to know those guys, stand next to them, and also be recognized as the captain this year. That was incredibly special with that group of guys.
We have 3 more questions for you, James. We'll start with Blair. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, James, just wanted to follow up on something you just said. You've had a lot of success with this team. Not every season ends with a victory. This one certainly did not. I'm wondering if this one felt a little different, sat a little different with you, the way it unfolded, and if this was maybe a little tougher to take than others.
Yeah, I mean, every Super Bowl loss is a tough one to take, but it's short lived, right? I mean, it always stays with you. That's kind of something that's been echoed out there as guys who've been a part of a Super Bowl and you've lost. We've won them and we've lost them, and there's different feelings that come with both of those. When you win one, you're still hungry, you go do it again. You lose one, it stings a little more. Obviously, that never leaves, right? I mean, that's always on your resume. But you also look back on the season we had, and made some history with the games that we won, and obviously a lot of tight games, but we won, and that's the name of the game, and that's what we're here to do. And so there was a lot to be thankful for this season. Obviously, didn't end the way we wanted, but it takes a lot to do what we did, and there's a lot of pride in all the guys that contributed this season. I mean, that's a grind, and to go out each and every week, make huge plays, offense, defense, special teams to win games. I know we got pinned with these guys are lucky and whatnot, but guys worked their tail off to win every one of those games, and so a lot to be proud of, And I know that gets thrown around as a consolation, right? But it really was a great season, and you just try to build on that, right? I mean, no roster is ever the same. We got guys that are leaving, but excited for the guys that are still here and the guys that are coming in, and you kind of go back to that day one and just go back to work.
We'll go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, what's going on, James?
Herbie, what up? He's still here.
Hey, same with you. You're still here, right?
You just can't leave. We can't get rid of you. That's a good thing.
Hey, James, you mentioned perfecting your craft, and this is going to be a football type question. Over the years, Dave Toub has always mentioned that one of the things that stands out about you is your velocity with your snaps. As you get older, what have you had to adjust or tweak to maintain that velocity that Dave Toub prefers?
Yeah, that's an easy answer for me. It's God given. I mean, I've always been able to throw a football fast. Earlier in my years, it wasn't very accurate. But I had the God given ability to throw a ball fast. Going back to baseball and playing baseball and then being a quarterback the majority of my life, could always throw. And so I wish I could take credit for throwing the ball fast, but it's just there. As I've gotten older, you try to the ball doesn't need to be crazy fast. It has to be a certain velocity, and thankfully I have that ability to keep it there and keep that speed. I think the consistency in trying to keep the ball where it needs to be when you're trying to block and when you're in different conditions, whether it's you're down in Jacksonville and it's 130 degrees, or it's negative 30 degrees in Kansas City in January. I think the variables of just trying to stay consistent for me have been more of a challenge, I think, and that's probably across the board, as the long snapper versus the speed. But yeah, the ability to throw it fast has always been there. So it's kind of like a golf swing, the more you practice it, the more you do it, you kind of hone that skill in and just continue to work on your consistency and perfecting that craft.
We'll go with our last one from Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, James, congratulations, man.
What's going on? Thank you. Appreciate that.
Happy you're back. Kind of similar to Adam's question, but when you first got here back in 2015, Dustin Colquitt was and going into his 11th year with the Chiefs. That's you now, I believe, going into year number 11. You remember anything about Dustin, how he went about his business, and how he had his longevity in this league that you learned from him?
Yeah, absolutely. They're sitting at 11 years. And I mean, that just blew my mind. Here I was removed 3 years from college, just dreaming of playing, a regular season game, sticking around long enough to play in an NFL game and a season. And it was just hard for me to even imagine, And I asked Dustin, I said, hey, how did you get to year 11? And his answer was, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? And he's like, well, he goes, I really don't know. He said, I was fortunate enough to land in a place, in an organization as good as Kansas City. And, we've obviously had our downs and we're on the up now. Obviously Coach Reed rolled around and they were having some success. But he said, I just took it. Same thing. I wanted to play in one game at a time. I wanted to play for a season. I worked for that first contract and got that one. And then he was like, my goal set for the second contract. And I made it to the second contract. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for a third. And he's like, I look up and here I am in year 11. And so that has been exactly my answer to that one. How do younger guys ask me, how did you play to 11 years? And I'm like, I'm going to give you the Dustin Colquitt answer. I don't know, but a lot of things have lined up in my favor, and continue to just try to perfect the craft, work hard, and have been fortunate enough to be surrounded by a lot of great coaches and teammates that have allowed us to have some amazing success, right? And so pretty cool, to go back and think about that conversation with Dustin, and here I am in year 11. That's special.
Thanks, James. We appreciate the time.
You bet, guys. Absolutely, anytime, and thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, we got you too. If you could turn your phone sideways for us. There we go. Perfect. Looking good. Well, I'll call on a few of our local media members, and they'll ask some questions, and we'll get you in and out.
Sounds good.
Awesome. We'll start with Jesse Newell. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Kareem, welcome back to KC. Kelsey, I have a follow-up too. Just tell me what the conversations were like with the Chiefs here this offseason and getting to bring you back.
It was good, man. Definitely good to, talk with Coach Reed, and, I want to thank, Veach and, Clark Hunt for them, giving me the opportunity to come back, to get another shot.
I just wondered, I know not everybody looks forward to Andy Reid training camps, but you haven't been to training camp in a couple of years. How much are you looking forward to being with the team and getting a training camp this year?
I'm very excited, man, because I feel like that's gonna help me in the long run. Be able to, prepare my body for the long run, the long season, and grind, and not have to, start from behind pretty much.
We'll go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Kareem, welcome back again. I just want to know a couple things. First of all, other than losing the Super Bowl, obviously, was your return to Kansas City and the Chiefs what you hoped it would be when you first got back here? And Kelsey, I'll have the second question as well.
I mean, yeah, man, definitely. I love playing for the Chiefs, man, and the culture is just great there, and it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but look, we got a lot of work to do, and I feel like we got another good shot at it.
Okay. And do you see your role changing at all this year from what it was last year? Maybe more third downs with Samaje being in Cincinnati?
I mean, possibly, man. I'm just doing whatever, Coach Reed and those guys asked me to do, man. I'll just play my role and go out there, do whatever to help the team win.
We'll go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Kareem, you mentioned about being in camp and being able to kind of build up for a long season. You're going to turn 30 in August, and you had that was the second most carries you've ever had in your career last year. I mean, do you still feel like ready for that workload, or do you feel like you'd be fresher and kind of a running back by committee approach?
I mean, for sure, man. that was without a training camp. So I feel like definitely with a training camp and everything, and just taking care of my body, working every day, and eating right. I feel like it'll be, you know, it'll help me in the long run. So I mean, my body feels great. I'm excited to, have an actual training camp and, be there when, everything gets running.
We'll go next to Nick Jacobs. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Kelsey, I'll have a follow-up if I can, please. Kareem, I know the goal was to get a ring and to get to the Super Bowl. You got to experience that. It may not end the way you wanted, but what type of fire has that put in you for this year?
I mean, to put a lot of fire under me, you never want to, go to the Super Bowl and, lose. But, I'm just grateful I got to, experience that, and then, you it definitely, want to get back there and, see how it is on the other side.
Yeah, and then for you, what are you focusing on this year that you're wanting to either improve, whether it's physically or mentally, to be the best running back you can at this age?
I mean, this year I just want to, focus on, finishing the job, finding a way to, win that last game, finding a way to, make sure I'm in the best, shape of my life and be ready to, you know, do whatever to help the team win.
Kareem, it looks like that's all the questions we have for you. We appreciate the time and congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. First, go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Jerry, welcome to Kansas City. You played against the Chiefs a number of times over the years, and just wanted to get your thoughts on what they had going on here from the other side, if you will. What were your thoughts about what the Chiefs were doing over the years?
Well, of course, yeah, like you said, I've played against the Chiefs. 6 years of my career now, 4 in LA and then 2 in Las Vegas. Like I've been to Kansas City a couple times now, and so I've been watching this team closely my whole career. And obviously they have. I guess we now have been on the top of the AFC West for a long time, and my job here is to continue that dominance.
We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Jerry, congratulations. From your vantage point, what intrigued you most about this opportunity versus perhaps maybe returning to Minnesota or going elsewhere?
Sure, yeah, there was a lot on the table, but the Kansas City Chiefs have a lot to offer, in terms of consistency, winning culture, and style of play. And these were things I want to, I emulate in my game, and so it felt like a perfect fit.
We'll go next to Matt Derrick. Matt?
Hey, Jerry, I'm curious, just, how well do you know Chris Jones, and how big of a role was, playing alongside Chris, part of coming to Kansas City and making it attractive?
For sure, yeah, no, Chris Jones is an incredible player and someone who I am excited to play with. And, I've watched him over the years as well as somebody at the top of our game who's doing it the best. And so to watch this guy work and to be with him, and I think that type of player is someone who can raise everybody's level. And Chris Jones is a great guy, so I'm excited to get to know him better, and even more excited to play with him.
And you were teammates with Drew Tranquil. What's it like to be a couple of times now? What's
Exactly.
it like being kind of reunited with Drew? And what did he tell you about Kansas City?
No, I love Drew Tranquil. Drew is one of the best guys I know, and great football player, even better person. Man of the Lord, loves his family. He's doing it right, and he's killing it on the football field as well. And I know Drew's had a lot of success here, and so I'm looking forward to getting back with Drew and playing with him again.
We'll go next to Nick Jacobs. Go ahead, Nick.
Jerry, I'm curious for you, where, from a scheme perspective, what do you feel like brings out the best in you as a defensive lineman?
Well, I think it's wherever I can be out there, and wherever it is on the line to help our team win, that's what I want to do. If that's outside, if that's inside, I think I can do both. I got both of those in my game, and so I'm able to help us however we can. And I think it's with the right people, with the right group, you can really do something special. And I think that's what we got here.
Now, there's been a handful of times you played against Patrick on the other sidelines. What will it mean to you this time to kind of be on the same sidelines with him and not having to go against him?
Yeah, right, exactly. Not having to go to try to defend this guy, when the money's on the line is going to be different. You know what I mean? But to watch him cook for our team on the same sideline will definitely be a different experience. But I'm looking forward to it.
Looks like we have one more question for you, and that'll be from Jesse Newell. Go ahead.
Jesse.
Hey, Jerry, how's it going?
Good.
You had mentioned the Chiefs' style of play and liking it. I just wondered why you think that it's a good fit for you and what attracted you to it.
Sure. Yeah, I know they like to, get after the quarterback and, blitz teams and make it hard on them. And so, to be aggressive on defense is how you have to play. And that's my nature. That's my style. And so I think, what Spags is doing has obviously won a lot of games. And, to be with the Chiefs now and see how they do it, is gonna be great for my game, for my career, and so I'm excited about it.
All right, Jerry. Looks like that's all we have for you today. Nice and short and sweet, but congratulations, and we appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And out.
All righty. Thank you.
Sweet. We'll start with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Gardner, welcome to Kansas City. Hey, I don't know if you're going to wind up being with the Chiefs for 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, but however long you're here, what do you want to get out of your time with the Chiefs other than win a championship or whatever? What do you want to get out of your time here? And Kelsey, I'll have a second question as well.
Nah, man, good to see you, Adam. Super fired up to be part of just a winning organization, winning culture. I feel like I have so much to learn from how Coach Reid and everybody operates, how Pat operates. And I'm just looking forward to help in any way I can. If there's any way I can help this team, whether it's on the scout team, whether it's helping Pat in meetings, whether it's just bringing good energy to practice, I look forward to just doing whatever I can to contribute and help this team win.
Okay, and you remember your first NFL game was against the Chiefs that day when it's like 200 degrees down there in Jacksonville. What do you remember about that day?
Dude, I don't remember much, dude. It was a blur. I remember going into the game, not expecting to play, just happy to be on the team. Unfortunately, Nick got hurt like 12 plays in, and we went in. I remember me and my dad sitting down for dinner after. We were like, what the heck just happened? Like, it was unbelievable, man. But yeah, no, that was an unbelievable experience, and man, it's been super gratifying and super fortunate to have all the experience I've had in the NFL.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Gardner. Welcome to Kansas City. I wanted to ask you about in college, it looked like you almost went to Alabama and kind of had a similar opportunity to be a backup. I just wondered if any of those same things went through your mind on this opportunity with the Chiefs.
No, I mean, I think it is very similar. Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the big things I've always looked for is I've just always wanted to learn, and I love, seeing very successful organizations, very successful people. That was one thing that attracted me to Alabama and Coach Saban. And that's one of the biggest things that have attracted me here to Kansas City with Coach Reid, with Mr. Veach, with the whole organization. Like, there's so much success, and I feel like success leaves clues. There's so much to learn from here. And that's one of the biggest things that got me, and couldn't be more excited to learn and grow and just enjoy playing this game of football.
We'll go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Gardner, congratulations and welcome to KC.
Thank you, man.
How do you kind of view the role of the backup quarterback, especially for a guy like Mahomes? How important is it for you to just be a support, and what can you provide, you feel like, the Patrick that maybe he needs?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Man, I tell you, being a starting quarterback in the NFL is a hard deal, and especially with all the expectation, with everything that, gets put on, especially a guy like that. Sometimes it's having a safe place in the quarterback room where you can come and, let off some steam or, just have a good laugh. Like that little stuff is very important, getting through weeks, getting through years. But I don't know, man. I look forward to just being able to work with him, helping any way I can, whether it's on the practice field, in the meeting room, getting ready for game days. If there's film preparation I can help with, or even, like I said, providing a good laugh here or there. Like, I just couldn't be more grateful for the role, and just want to help in any way I really can.
And you've played in some similar offenses to Andy Reid's offense in the past. How do you feel like that transition is going to be, and how do you feel like your game fits into Andy Reid's style?
Yeah, that was another big reason I chose to come to Kansas City, man. I've always been a huge fan of Coach Reid's offenses. I've always felt that was something I could do well in. I feel like Pat, came up playing in the air raid. It was something I did in college as well. And I feel like that kind of play style of just understanding and feeling space, understanding leverage and numbers, like I think that really serves you well in the system.
We'll go next to Nick Jacobs. Nick?
And Kelsey, I'll have a follow-up if I can. Gardner, congrats and welcome to Kansas City. Yeah, my first question for you is, you've been able to be in a couple schemes during your time here in the NFL. How have those stops helped push you into the quarterback you are now?
Yeah, no, I think you everybody has a little bit different perspective of things. I mean, most of the plays, nobody's running like, I mean, I guess Kansas City is kind of running like crazy plays that you don't really see everywhere. But for the most part, everybody's running basically the same things. But they'll have different, reasons for why they do it, or they'll have just different coaching points. So I feel like I've been very fortunate to have a lot of different perspectives and different teaching styles. And I couldn't be like more excited to be stepping into this one and to learn it through the lens of Coach Reed, Coach Nagy, Pat, and just to see how they see it as well.
And then for you, how do you go about as a quarterback? You've seen so much, you've seen so many different defenses, but how do you keep that hunger, that aggressiveness, that edge when you're out there on the field?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, man. I think for me, my favorite thing to do, my favorite thing about football is you have the ability to like grow and learn and then test yourself against adverse situations. And I think that's one of the funnest things about it. I think you learn so much about yourself as you step into these hard situations. And I look forward to stepping in there and giving it my best shot and just being the best I can for the guys around me, knowing and understanding the work that the rest of this organization has put in, how much it means to everybody, and wanting to do right for them. And I think that's a very powerful motivator.
We'll hear from Nate Taylor next. Go ahead, Nate.
Gardner, congratulations. You mentioned before about Andy. I just wonder, from your perspective, what's it like when Andy Reid is part of the recruitment process and you get to talk to him about, your style of play and obviously where he thinks you can do for the team?
Yeah, man, that's obviously a huge draw, man. From the end of our season when it seemed like I was gonna get cut, I knew in my head that this is where I wanted to be. I took a pre-draft visit with the Chiefs, like back in the day coming into the league, and I feel like everything went really well. And just talking to Coach Reed and understanding like what they're all about, I always knew that that'd be a really good fit. And to get on the phone with Coach Reed and get to hear like what they're talking about, and also to hear, how he sees me fitting and like how, he values my personality and how what I bring to the table, man. Like that that just fires me up so much to be somewhere that you feel appreciated and valued. And obviously by somebody you respect so much and has had so much success doing it.
It looks like we have one more question for you, and that's going to come from Pete. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Gardner, welcome to Kansas City.
Yeah,
You're known for having, I guess, a zest for life, you might say. Anything you looking forward to in Kansas City, or anything you want to do while you're here off the field?
Man, honestly, I'd love to learn about some cattle farming if I have a chance. I know that's probably got a lot of that going on. That's something I'd like to do, down the road. I'm always a big fan of, some labor like that. So if there's a chance to do something like that, be a great opportunity to learn. But I got plenty of football to learn, plenty of stuff in the building to get better at. And I think that's going to take up a lot of my time. And I'm just so fired up for it.
Thanks, Gardner. We really appreciate the time and welcome to Kansas City.
Yeah, thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, no
Great.
problem. I'll go